Hey, my name is Rafaela, and I'm going to tell you how I made my first $20,000 in my first month of selling on Amazon. So, I started selling in November of 2024, and it was already basically the middle of Q4, which is the busiest time of the year when everybody's buying everything on Amazon. So, I kind of jumped into like chaos and madness. So, I had started researching Amazon a few months prior to that and seeing a million ads for different ways to do Amazon wholesale, private label, arbitrage, like KDP, selling this, selling that, influencer. I got so overwhelmed with the choices, and I just was really stuck in that analysis paralysis stage, I guess. Finally, I decided to start with arbitrage. And the reason I picked arbitrage because it seemed to be the model that was the easiest to scale, and it was the model that would have been the one that I can get my money back the fastest. All the other models seemed very cash intensive up front, time intensive with like a longer payback time. With the arbitrage model, I learned that I could make my money back within a few weeks. So that's the model I wanted to start with so that I could learn the platform of Amazon before diving into like private label someday in the future perhaps. So anyways, after doing some studying, I decided I can't just keep watching videos anymore. I just have to start selling, and that's what I did. So I got my girlfriend and I said, we're gonna go do something crazy, and we're just gonna go to the stores and start scanning products because I hear there's deals out there. And that's how we started. We went to Walmart clearance, we went to Ollie's, Ross, Dee-Dee's, TJ Maxx, Marshall's, Burlington, Five Below, you name it. If it had a discount store connotation, we were there. We were scanning. I don't know how long we spent scanning, but I would say we dedicated a good couple days a week, like 5, 6 hours while our kid was in school, just scanning things and trying to find things that looked profitable. At this time, we were just kind of learning and seeing how products popped up on Amazon if they were even available. So all that time was basically what I call tuition of product research. We did a lot of that. We did come across some losers, some winners, but we finally like bit the bullet and bought some stuff that I was auto ungated in on Walmart clearance. And overnight I woke up and we had like, I don't know, 11 orders, and we were just ecstatic. We had no idea what to do with ourselves. And like I said, we just kind of jumped in, and it was already Q4, so things were moving fast. So we didn't have a lot of time to figure out how to properly FBM, how to properly FBA. And when I saw how fast those products I listed sold overnight, I realized I had to get my hand on more products like this. So we started going out and buying more. And we primarily did FBM to start because as soon as we were listing things, they were just flying. We thought, we'll learn FBA later because that was a whole other process of things to learn. We sent a small test shipment into FBA. More on that later. That didn't really make us much money because it didn't check in until after Q4, but doesn't matter. Point of the story is all of that money that I made in the first month, that $20,000 in the first 30 days, that was all FBM, being absolutely brand new. Being brand new means you are gated in almost everything and you are restricted in almost everything. And the difference between gated and restricted is when you're gated, you have the opportunity to apply. Whether you submit 10 units, 30 units, or I guess 10 units or 400 units, 300 units, whatever Amazon requires, you at least have the opportunity to apply. With the restricted, means you have no chance of getting that brand. So Nike, Lego, Puma, all these brands that a lot of the big gurus and coaches always talk about, I couldn't even apply even if I wanted to. There's nothing I could do to get accepted into those brands, which I know feels really hopeless for a lot of new sellers. They watch all these gurus and coaches talk about all these big brands and how they flip these big brands, and then when they get their accounts, they realize they can't sell those brands and they lose a lot of hope and feel like this business isn't possible. But I'm here to tell you it is. That was only my first month. By my second month, December, we did over $55,000, all FBM, and again, brand new, no big brands, no fun brands. They're all things you probably never heard of, but they exist and you can find them in the store. Within that first month, I think we were selling for just a month. We had our first big day. We had over $3,000 back to back, and that was from a book we found at Target. So books are usually a pretty easy category people can get ungated in, and this was like a really hot book that dropped in like late November, early December. And my girlfriend happened to be a fan of the artist of the book, so she gave me the hint, and we looked it up and listed it on Amazon, and it flew off the shelves. I believe we sold about $20,000 worth of that book alone between when we listed it and the end of December. So really you only need one ASIN to change your whole trajectory, and it doesn't have to be a big name brand. So my advice to you, if you're just starting out, is start now. Don't wait, don't overthink it. You can learn things as you sell things. That's what I was doing. Even though we were listing all day, packaging all day, learning at night, after we're done with all the FBM packages, we got it done. But this way, at least I was starting to earn my money back, rather than waiting for months and months because I was doing all this research and not selling. So I highly recommend just go ahead and start scanning things, whether that's in store or online. I highly recommend in store. I love it because you can hold the products and look at them and feel them. And really, I'm a tactile type of learner, so I need to feel the products in my hands. When I do things online, I have like 5 billion tabs open and I get distracted, so it's hard for me to do product research that way as a beginner. So I highly recommend just get at it. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments. I will personally get back to you. And you can also always DM me on Instagram if you have any additional questions or if you're interested in one-on-one coaching. I know it sounds like it was a lot, but we actually did this FBM almost as a side gig because at the time we still had a brick and mortar restaurant, which November and December are really busy times at the restaurant. We also own an ice cream shop, so that was also a really busy time because we're in a busy shopping mall. And I also own a dance studio, which is also a busy time because we're having recitals and dances, and we're doing all these other things at those businesses. And I think I had a bunch of like performance gigs that month too. New Year's Eve is a big, night for us. There's a lot of planning going on for that. So it's not like we stopped the rest of our lives just to do Amazon. It did take up a big chunk, I would say a good 30 to 40 hours a week minimum, but we were still able to run 3 other businesses plus take care of our then 5-year-old. Was she 5? I can't remember. But anyway, so a kid, 3 brick and mortars, and Amazon, and it was totally doable. So I highly recommend, just if you're thinking about it, just start. And if you have any questions, just message me and keep watching my channel because I'm going to keep making some videos to inspire you and also to teach you.